Hey, Doc Ock back at you. Oh, still over here at Schloss Nymphenburger. Um, yeah, culture is everywhere. And right about now, I'm smelling some of that dank weed. Um, but right behind me here, you see the Schloss, right? And you can look all up there, all up, around over there. We're on the other side now. We were on the dark side before, now we're on the light side. And you can see it's got the two lines. There's one line over there, one line over my other shoulder over there, okay, right behind me. And those two lines are just framing the entrance to Schloss Nymphenburger. Yes, sir. So, two castles. No, actually, I think I've been to three castles now. One, two, three. It's either two or three, but I've been to a number of them anyway. And I'm going to end up going ahead and showing you the garden as well. So the length and the breadth of this property are enormous once I got past the entrance. So what you were seeing before, that was merely a preamble to the actual Schloss grounds themselves. They told me that, my friends told me that this is a park, but it was hard to believe that it was a park inside the city of Munich. But here it is. It's not only a park, this is a huge park. Well manicured all over the place. You see the statues going down the way here on both sides. You see there's some more statues over there looking over my shoulders in the background. I'm showing them to you that way so that you can see me as I'm walking down the way, and also so that you don't get blinded by the sun, because the sun is definitely a factor here. But you see that's the rest of the inside, and they're doing some construction on at least one side of it, okay? And then you can see these statues and trees going down the way. Now those are obviously some little bitty new trees they just planted, okay? You can tell that they're not even like they've been manicured forever, and they're just really short. Those are brand new trees. So you got those out here. And then we're coming up on another Swan Lake, I guess they call it, full of swans. That's why I'm calling it Swan Lake. And so we're going to take a tour around this also. Now, like I said, I'm going unrehearsed through the universe, and so sometimes it may seem like I'm going off on a tangent, but in the end, all roads lead to the same destination. So we're just going to walk around the Swan Lake here. You can see it off to my right. Yeah, off to my right. You can see it over there. Just walking around it a little bit here. And I'm not going to walk the whole length and breadth of this property because it stretches out here. It looks like about 2 miles or something, a mile or two. I mean, it's got another lake up here coming up. I'm going to at least go that far. But it's really more like what do they call that? The reflecting pool in front of the Washington Monument. That's what it looks like. So there's a whole nother, if you look behind me, you see the Swan Lake, and you look behind me, you can see there's a trail going back there all the way to the Schloss, the castle, and then directly in front of me is if it was a trail, it'd be even longer than the one behind me, but filled and just as wide, but filled with water. And it just stretches out. I don't even know how far that stretches out because I never heard of this castle until today. But I know one of our members, shout out to Schaefer D, had asked me to touch a castle while I was over here. So I touched one earlier, but it was kind of a small, little tiny castle. And I decided to go ahead and go to one more castle since it was around the corner. And it had been mentioned to me, and I couldn't make it to Neuschwanstein today, which is somewhere I did want to go because my children and I had built that castle years ago as a 3D puzzle. But I said, well, I'd forego it because of the expense and the amount of time as well. If you see me looking down, that's because I'm trying to make sure not to step into swan poop. Because swan poop, duck poop, geese poop, it's all about the same. That stuff is big and thick as if it was some dogs out here. So I don't intend to go home with it all on my shoes, even though these are like my work shoes here. So I'm just stopping here for a minute at the end of this road, and you can see there's another road going off behind me and a bridge going over another part of this. I'm calling it the reflecting pool because it looks like reminds me of the reflecting pool in DC. Now the sun's gonna get kind of bright here. I'm gonna go up some, take that sun off your eyes hopefully, okay, and allow you to just to get an idea of how far out that reflecting pool stretches. That is enormous, enormous. I've never seen anything like this before that wasn't a government operation, okay? So, well, I guess this was a government operation because he was the king, and the king does run the government. So, there you have it, okay? But when we see, we go to D.C. and we see our reflecting pool, etc. there, you know, this is the kind of thing that it's modeled after, and this is the kind of thing that George Washington was fighting against. He did not want the United States to be like no freaking kingdom, okay? That's why the Pilgrims came to the U.S. in the first place. They were trying to get away from the king. So why would they want to do this? So we're just here just kind of reflecting on that lesson for a minute. Just think about that. All right, and meanwhile, I'm going to go ahead and sign off. And maybe I'll see some other sites over here, and I'll clue you in. Oh, you might want to notice, I'm going to turn back around here for a minute, and you can see one of the statues that's going to come up over my right shoulder over here. You're going to see it right back there in the background, right, I believe over there. Where is he at? Yeah, I think that's him right there. And that is Neptune, god of the oceans. So you can see him over my right shoulder. He's kind of far in the background. I'll go over there and take a better picture of him in a minute.